Hi guys, hi. This is All in a Clown Lifestyle. Hi. I hope everyone has had a great day today. I was gonna go live and do this, guys, because I feel like the awareness of it is very important, and also because I lost a loved one to fentanyl. This is a disclaimer. Disclaimer, guys, and this is for educational purposes only. But I've already previewed this story of Marquavis Broughton's. Um, it's just I wanted to share it because it's many, many more people out there that are going through this. But I want you guys to notice the calmness of his mom, the efforts of him trying, how he got started, why. Because I'm educating myself on it too, guys. I don't understand it. I do to a certain point, and there's two people that are family members that we're dealing with this with, but I'm not sure like how to exactly deal with it. And again, let me get one picture, guys. One moment, okay? I want to show you my bestie. He was from Hawaii. His name is Jay Kakalia. I won't give his first name, but he served our country. Uh Worked at the post office after he got out of the military, and he has one daughter. But he was a very, very good guy, and I don't know how. I think he met this chick from New York. As a matter of fact, he did, and she was his daughter's age, which is not like I think he was in almost in his 40s when he passed, 3 years back, but I said that to say this. It doesn't matter. Just say no to it. Don't try it. Because from what I'm seeing, it's not a good thing. And I don't know what the hold is. We don't know. It's like when you lose a loved one, if you never lost a loved one, you're not going to know how it feels, right? If you've never been in a car accident, you're not going to know how the car accident feels. Let me get this picture really fast so we can continue. Okay, guys? Because I want you guys to see the whole thing. Okay. Okay, guys. Wait, let me make sure I cover his. I'll just let you guys see. This is my bestie, guys. I'm taking my absolutely best friend. And he just had a birthday on April 5th. Calculia, and I lost him to fentanyl, guys. See the date right here, September 19th. Okay, guys, let's continue. So I don't want to interrupt too much, guys. I just wanted to give you guys a breakdown on it. But this is Mark Ravis when he was small, but the story is good. The story is really good, guys, and I know someone out there needs this. Okay, so I'm gonna take the time to do this. So let me get through the music.
The clouds in the sky are not real.
Okay.
And he would just send us post and post and post about it. You would be like, oh my gosh, not
Just pay
again.
attention, guys. Let me get my phone out of
He
the
was
way.
very smart,
Okay.
though. A little
Sorry.
too smart, because he would finish all his work and mess with everybody in the classroom. I felt like they didn't challenge him enough. But he made A's and B's. I mean, very smart. I mean, his ACT, he scored a 32.
Okay, for those of you that are on Spotify, again, you heard the introduction. Please do enjoy the story. Please do share this with your family and friends. And always take note. And the best thing that you can do with a person that's going through this is just to love them. Because the only way they stop is on their own. It's an addiction. They have to know that if they have, because they go by the body aches and things like that, that it will not always be if you take 28 days to break the bad habit. Let's continue.
Two on it. So he was not a dummy. But he would finish work, and he was the class clown.
Okay, let's move it forward a little bit.
He never isolated himself. He always had a group with him, because he was the ringleader probably in the group. But it just
Okay, I just want to
out
fast
and
forward it to the
just up at night, banging pots and pans, like all this behavior. And I'm like, yes, this is great. And
Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, sorry guys.
insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, because they pay for
I
treatment.
want to get you to a good point. Okay.
I think he started to abuse a little bit more. And he came to me and he was like, Ma, I'm addicted to Percocets, and I snorted them. And I was like, I had
Guys, true story. I can't, I really can't. By all means, I'm not judgmental or biased, but I will correct you and tell you what's right or wrong. But I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I don't like Percocets. They make me itch. And I only had them because I've been hospitalized twice. But the thing of it is that, and then you guys drink with it? I can't understand it because I don't like that feeling. Because it's like you have no control or the control that you should need in case something happens because you're groggy or drowsy. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's continue. But please don't do that. Please. I don't know what it is, but it's used for medical conditions. Let's continue.
Kaiser insurance at that time, and I was like calling my insurance just to see what they pay for substance abuse at that time. They wouldn't. So in 22, I said, well, I'm going to go with my job's insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, because they pay for treatment. And I don't care how much it costs. But if you're willing to go, I'm willing to pay. And so the end of 2022, I signed up for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. And that January, when it started, he went into his first treatment in 24.
I want to have this.
It was, glory days for me, because I would sit and watch him nod off.
And I do recommend this.
Have foam around his mouth and just up at night, banging pots and pans, like all this behavior. And I'm like, yes, this is great. And he went to this rehab. Man, it was hell. He called me 100 times a day telling me how he was leaving. And he talked the therapist there, the counselor there, into calling me probably every hour when he wasn't supposed to have a phone at all. And where the detox portion was, she she called me one day and she said, well, I took Quay out of detox, and he has his blanket. He always wore a blanket. Everywhere he go, he had a blankie. And he took it in with him, and he has this American flag blankie all over his head. And she said, I just made a spot in my office for him to sleep. He can't keep anything down. So I went and bought him a Chick-fil-A milkshake every day. And every day I get the milkshake, he said, I'll stay another day. And I'll stay another day. And he got up to 7 days, and he called me, okay, it's time for me to go. I'm done. And I was like, no, the program's 30 days. Oh, I'm going to leave this place. I'm walking. If you don't come get me, somebody will come get me. So I called all his friends, and I said, if y'all go pick him up, I'll make sure you go to jail. I didn't know if I could send him to jail or not, but the threat was great. And so nobody picked him up. And
see the games we have to play to get them to submit. Let's continue. He
was like, well, can you bring me some more clothes? And I was like, yeah. Packed him a little bag. And I'll never forget pulling up. There's this house, and in front of this house is a big lake. And I remember pulling up, and Quay's out there at the pond fishing, and he had caught his first fish. And man, you would have thought he won $1 million. He was so excited, hooping and hollering. He was like, it was so big, Mama. Oh my God, this place is amazing. Like really rating on this place. And he was like, I think I can do it. And
guys, humanity is alkaline. That means life. Everybody deserves life. That's why you have to be careful not to make fun or I don't know, subliminally do things or say words to people or even in your content because you may be the one to push that person over the edge, and you don't want that on your conscience. Let's continue.
And they say every time he get down, he would just go out there to the pond and um
And condolences to the family. I mean, this story is beautiful with a sad ending, guys. But the beautiful thing of it is that his mom here and his family gave him all the love that he needed. But sometimes you can't control it, you can't stop it, you can't prevent it. So, condolences to the family for that. Because as silent as it's kept, we all have at least one in our family that is like this. If the truth be told, let's continue.
I think day 13 he got into it with somebody and they called him the N-word. And from there,
Okay, let's go forward, guys.
rehab, and he was on the outside, and it was just vice versa that whole year. And 6 months later, he was like, "Mom, I think I can do it again. I don't want to do this no more." And he we found another rehab because the one he loved wouldn't take him back. But the counselor told me, she said she cried. Oh gosh, she cried having to put him out. Like, she really became very fond of Quay, and like it was amazing because one day he had gotten high and he called her, and she worked for the police department as a counselor as well for special. I don't know if it's special victims or whatever
Special
she did,
victims.
but she counseled, and she came to pick him up with the police. And his father was killed by the police, so he didn't take King to the police. He was only 2 when his father died, but that hurt was there. And he called me and said, "Miss Evie's coming to pick me up. I'm going to go with Miss Evie." And to watch him on the Ring camera get into the back of a police car was like, and you wasn't kicking and screaming? Like, and I'm like, wow, he really, this is him really wanting to help. And he went with her, and she said, "Hey, I'm going to drop him off at the hospital and tell him everything that I need him to do, and I need them to send him to a place." And our insurance deductible was met out of pocket. So right now is the best time to get these things done. She dropped him off at the hospital in an hour.
And this is important, guys. If you have anybody in your family that have needs, and you could also find out what the cost is if you don't have the accurate insurance that they will take. But they have ways of making it happen for you. Okay, let's continue.
Hour later, he calls me and is like, "They're discharging me. See, they don't care about me. Nobody cares. All they see me as a junkie out here on the streets." And he cried. He said, "I'm sitting here, I'm just crying. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants to help me. Nobody cares." And he was like,
See, this is just a tactic that they use too, also, because that's far from the truth. Everybody that I know and have personally had to deal with, when you know that you've done nothing but love them and they come at you like that, you have to be strong and just look at them, respect them. Yeah, you might want to look at them like they're a little cray, because you know they're sitting up there telling a fib. But let them speak, and let them feel that way. But then you correct them when they're done, and continue on to get to the solution to get the problem solved. Let's continue.
like, "Mom, I just might as well die because nobody cares about us." And Miss Effie was very upset when she got the call. So she found another place and we got him there. And he went for about 2 more weeks. He would get through that 2 week. And it was the 2 week mark where the cravings came back. And he'll find a way to get out of there. And that cycle went on through 23, 24. And I remember his brother had went to Ranger school,
This is the one.
And
This is
he knew his brother
Aquarius,
was coming home because
guys.
he was a winter
She has some
ranger.
handsome
He was coming home
sons.
for Christmas. He was in a
Wow.
place and he was trying to get home to his brother. Be at home at the same time as brother. Oh, I don't think this rehab's good enough for me.
Oh, I'm gonna leave
He gave
my
every excuse to get
calculator
out of
right
there.
here.
And all it was is he just wanted to be with his brother for Christmas. And it was Christmas of 24. And
My
I mean,
bestie,
he was
guys. I loved
adamant.
him
And
so
so,
much.
me being the
I
mom
lost
I
him to
am,
fentanyl.
I go
My
get him.
best friend.
And I actually
He was
didn't drive up
Hawaiian.
because I was scared. So I had somebody drive me. And the crazy things you do for your kids, I was like, gosh, they're going to think I'm a bad mom. I climbed in the trunk while he got in the car, so they didn't see me. And we drove out the driveway. They opened the trunk.
Did you guys hear what this mother just said? Because she went and picked him back up from rehab for the umpteenth time, she didn't want the facility workers to see her doing it because she didn't want to look like a bad mother for taking him out of the facility. But to me, what I see is a mother that loves her son, and I don't know. You tell me, leave it in the comment. She got in the trunk of her car. Until he got in the car, they pulled off, and then she got out of the trunk. And you know, God works in mysterious ways. For her son to see his mother doing that, it cracked him. Watch and see. Let's continue. Because who wants to see their mother getting out of the trunk of the car because she's embarrassed, because she's picking you up from the rehab, because you've taken her through so much hell, the mom and dad, however it goes, and they're just reaching out once again for you and to see you getting out of the trunk of the car. Let's continue.
And I got out. He was like, Mom, you was really in the trunk. I was like, you said you wanted to come home. I mean, and I think that day it did something to Quay, seeing me get in the trunk. So people wouldn't look at me crazy, you know, for why are you coming to get your son? This is what he needs. And he cried on the way home, and he goes, Mama, I gotta beat this. He said, Mama, you pray for me. And I said, baby, I'm praying. And I remember going to church one day, and he had started getting high again. And he came running out the house. I want to go to church with you. And my daughter was like, oh, Lord, Ma, he is high as a kite. And I said, well, church is the hospital, so let's go. And so we went to church, and he's in church, nodding off, and my daughter gets up and goes sit on the...
Guys, for those of you that don't know, that's the least that I do know about it. And I am educated on it. I've just never actually had anybody, well, I can't say that probably to be around me on it because my godchild here, I'm sure he has. He just does it all, and I can't tell which is what. But it does make you nod like if you're using heroin. Okay, let's continue.
On the other side because she's embarrassed. And we had a guest preacher that week, and they were talking about tithes and tithing. Well, Quay was all about money. You can say money, and it will snap him out of anything. And so he was asking the congregation to give a faith seed, a mustard seed tithe. And he said, if you have $200. And Quay was like this.
The size of a mustard seed, guys, is like the size of just 1 grain of beach sand. Let's continue.
Nod, and he heard that $200, and he sat up, and he say, and his eyes was wide open, and it's like the high went away instantly, and you like, I look over, I'm
yeah, they'll wake it up for that
you
money.
Okay? He said $200, and I'm like, okay, got your attention. And so he sat up and he listened to the whole thing. And at the end of the sermon, he says, Mama, you know that check I just got? You know how much it was? It was $204. So that check.
Okay, guys, you see what just happened? Long story short, um, they didn't know he was getting high. It was on a Sunday. They were on their way to church. He ran out, her son, I'm saying it respectfully. He wanted to go to church, and you come as you are, respectfully. But anyways, so he was nodding in the church, and she said she'd give him $200 if he stayed awake. You see how she said his eyes just opened, and he said, "You said $200," and she said he didn't fall back asleep. Now, if he can control that, you get what I'm saying? It's a mental thing, guys. It really is. Even though I've never had these type of drugs, but what if I like lollipops? The one with the gum on the inside of it. I haven't like broke that habit yet since I was a kid, and I like lollipops. Okay, the blow pops, the watermelon, apple, grape, strawberry. So, and the original, and actually, guys, I can eat a bag of blow pops in like 3 days, a whole bag. But anyways, my point of it is that habits are made and habits can be broken. It's just that you just have to put your mind to it. Let's continue.
check. I want God to take this away from me. And so I just paid online. I Givelify for him, and I put in a line to take the taste away. That's all I put. And afterwards, he said, "Mom, can we go talk to Bishop?" I said, "No, you can go talk to Bishop. I'm not talking for you. I'll walk over there with you and we'll see." And so he goes up to the bishop and he looked up and he said, "I need you to pray for me." He said, "What am I praying for?" And it was the first time he had ever admitted that he had an addiction. He
After you do that, guys, you've already won half the battle. But you have to admit, no matter how much it hurts you or the next person, you have to admit any type of a situation in order for that situation to go away or get better. Okay, I'm going to start speeding it up a little bit, but let's continue, okay?
he was like, "I have an addiction and I can't beat it." And so my pastor started praying over him. And when he touched his head, Quay instantly started shaking and was sweating like crazy. And by the time he finished, Quay was laid out on the floor and he looked gray. Like he just looked gray. And my bishop went and got some oil and put it over his head and he's praying on him. And so after we finished, he said, "Son, go be great." And so we left. And as we were driving home, Quay said, "Ma, how did the bishop know everything I've been doing?" I said, "That wasn't the bishop, that was God talking to you." And
Did you hear that, guys? I'm not saying what type God you serve, but there's only one that I know, and that's the real one, the Lord Jesus Christ and Savior. And once you hear that voice, be prompt to it. Okay? All in Eckline Lifestyle. Please do subscribe, share, and like. Let's continue.
he was like, "I don't understand. If he can talk to me like this, why can't he just take the taste away?" I said, "Well, you got to put in the work too. Faith without work is dead." He went home that night, and I guess he still has some pills left. And that next morning, I woke up. He was in a garage, and he was asleep and nodding. And I'm like, "Okay, he's alive. He's okay." And I went to work. I came home. He was still in the garage asleep, and I checked to make sure he was still alive. And so I said, "Well,
You see, she left to go to work. He was in the garage nodding. She came back. He was in the garage nodding. It will keep you stuck. I do understand that part too. It's almost like because they're fatigued, so it starts to causes like a delusion. So they lose sight of time. Let's continue.
said, well, his heart is beating, his chest is rising. Maybe he just tired. He need to, sleep. And the next day, I go to work, I check on him, he's still sleeping, and I check his chest, it's rising and good heartbeat. And so I went to work. When I came home, he's up hooting and hollering and jumping around. And I was like, boy, what is wrong with you? He was like, Ma, do you know what the devil told me? And I was like, oh, Lord, there you go with these stories. And he was like, no, I'm serious, Mom. He was like, when we kept from church, I heard the voice of the devil say, that preacher can't keep you alive. I bet you if you take another one, it's going to take you out. He had 17 pills. He took all 17 pills. And so when he woke up, he said, Mama, the devil is a liar. My God saved me. And, he was on a great time during that time. But it was February 5th of last year.
It's a lot of pills.
He turned 21. And he was so excited. His brother said, when you turn 21, we going to Vegas. Me and you. We going to Vegas. So excited. So excited. Well, he had been clean.
Yay.
And that day, we always party and do karaoke and sing. Like, that's our thing. We'll line dance, sing, and play board games and card games all night. That was our family.
Disclaimer, guys, don't get it twisted. She didn't say just because she said partying, because I know some people don't listen. Not that she was partying. That's just what she used as family gatherings, like playing games, cards, karaoke, things like that. But only Marquavius, her youngest son, was involved with the fentanyl. Let's continue.
Bonding. It didn't matter what day of the week it is. We will pull out a card game. We'll pull out the karaoke machine, and that's what we did as a family. And his birthday night, my daughter kept saying, Mom, something's wrong with Quay. He had his first drink, but this is not a drunkenness. And I was like, oh, no, he don't drink. So
always be observant, guys. If you see something that is off, don't brush it aside because it's only going to get worse for that person. Let's continue.
So he's just my naive self. Like, I didn't want to believe. Like, my belief was he can beat this. He can beat this addiction. And from that day forward, he just wasn't right. And I remember on the 22nd of February last year, I was at work and I started seeing the bling, bling on my phone, and he was taking money out of my account. $100 here, $200 here. I mean, I think we were up to about $500.
That never fails. If they have your information, they will do that. But always remember, guys, I know you guys are going to say, but no, when they do that and they're high, it's not them. They don't really recognize what they're doing. Okay? Let's continue.
And I texted him and I said, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. I can't do this no more. I'm tired of you taking my hard-earned money. And he blocked me. I was mad. Like, he blocked me. He took an Uber on my Uber account, changed all my information on the Uber to his information. And to this day, I still can't get him my Uber account. And I was like, I'm done. And so I was able to call the bank, get my money reversed and everything. And I told him, you're going to jail. I can't do this. And so he never will reply. And I'm like, great. Well, his girlfriend called me and was like, they just beat Quay up. He went to go get some pills and they beat him up. And I was like, I don't care. That's what he get. And so we went to my granddaughter's softball game. And I was like, you know what? My daughter's like, Mama, just don't worry about him. Let him learn the hard way. And I was like, okay. So after the game, I played the yay, I'm happy game. But when I got home, just as soon as everybody went to their rooms, I slipped out the door. I went looking. And where he took.
And that's usually what good mothers does anyways. They will go look for their child, rightfully so. Let's continue.
The Lyft, the Uber to, that's what I had that address. And so I'm heading there, and the girl was like, Mama, they just beat Quay up. I said, I don't care. I don't care. I'm done. The whole time I was on my way, but I didn't want nobody to know because I didn't want him to get away, you know. And so when they told me he was bleeding and stuff like that, I was like, oh my God, please, Lord, don't have nothing happen to my baby. Like, please, I can't do this. Please protect him. I just start praying. And so I get there to the hotel and he's nowhere in sight. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, just show me the way.
I want you guys to hear this and then I'll end it. But if you like to watch it, guys, from beginning to end, here's the title. Okay. It was just very edifying. I wanted to share this. So let's continue. Show me the way. And I pull into this Burger King. And mind you, he had took my other phone. So I was able to track him through that phone. And I pull up to this Burger King and I see him in there. High as a kite, fumbling. I had to hold back my tears off this, guys. So disclaimer, okay? It's not meant to invoke any feelings or any triggers or anything like that. Disclaimer, okay? It's all out of love. Let's continue. And stuff, and oh my God, I was so mad. I'm talking about I was so mad. And so I bust in the Burger King, and he had my phone sitting on the counter. So I grabbed the phone, and I told the Burger King manager, I said, call the police. Call the police on him. I'm his mama. It's okay. And the man looked at me and said, I don't want to see one of our young men in jail. And I looked at him like, you're right. You're right. Don't take him to jail. Don't take him to jail. And so I'm sitting there, and he thinks I leave, but I go park behind the Burger King just to see, because he wouldn't get in the car with me. And so he's in there cleaning their tables, straightening up the lobby, sweeping the lobby. Like, I'm like, Lord Jesus, why? And so I called his brother, and his brother was down at Fort Benning in Georgia. And I said, Marquel, I can't do this no more. I said, Quay's high as a kite in the Burger King. I don't know what to do. I've done everything. And he runs out of Burger King, and this busy intersection. Quay runs across a busy intersection straight through, and I see an 18-wheeler truck coming. And he was this close to being hit by this 18-wheeler. And he went over to the gas station, and he's asking people for money. Man, I got out the car and fell to my knees. It's like, Lord, why? I don't know what to do. This is out of my hands. And I called his brother FaceTime and said, look at him. He's begging people for money. Like, we don't have money, but we don't have money for him. What do I do? My son. Mind you guys, remember about 15 minutes, 20 minutes back, she said she heard her phone go bing, bing, bing. He was taking money out of her account up to $500. So within that time, he'd run out of money already if he's begging for money across the street at the store from the hotel. I mean, from the Burger King. The Burger King was next door to the hotel, though, guys. But he had left the hotel by the time she got to him from driving from another county to his county to get him. So let's continue. Son said, meet me in Noonan. Meet me in Noonan, Mama. And I was in Stone Mountain, Georgia at that time. And I said, I'm on my way. And Quay's high as a kite. He smelled, oh gosh, the smell on him was so rank. And I'm like, Lord, this is not my child. This is not my child. And so we're driving, and he'll nod off, and then all of a sudden he'll come back and he'll say his little two P's, and he can go back. And I'm like, Lord, and he's fiddling. And it was about a 45-minute, maybe an hour drive to meet my son. And we pulled up,
My son had never seen quite like that. He heard the stories we told him, and he didn't believe us. He thought we were exaggerating.
Disclaimer, guys, it really gets sad, and I'm going to end it after this, but someone out there needs to hear this. This is very universal. Let's continue.
On these stories, and I was like, dude, if only you knew what the hell we just been going through. And he was like, no, that's not my brother. When he seen him, tears rolled out of his eyes. He was like, Ma, I think he just had something bad. I was like, no, this is what we lived through. This is it. When we call you crying and screaming and we're cussing back and forth at him, this is him. This is reality. This is what
Family like to keep secrets too, guys. You can be in one family and this issue could be happening, but some of the family members like to cover it up. That doesn't work. I hate when people do that within my own family too. I don't care because the family, everyone needs to know so everyone can play their part to help to get them better. Let's continue.
what we've lived with the last year and a half while you've been gone. And he was like, and I took him some pills. I looked at his list of things that he had at the rehab place. And I had some Zofran. I gave him some Benadryl to take with him. And I told my son, I said, give him some Zofran and give him Benadryl around the clock because it'll help him sleep it off. He took that and took him home, and I cried all the way home. But I felt like he was safe. He was many miles away from the familiarity.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end it here. But again, I wanted to bring awareness to it because as you can see, I'm not all hype. I'm usually all, I'm okay. It's just that I have my moments where I get a little silent. And it's because I've lost my loved ones, guys, within the last 5 months, on top of losing my bestie, Kakalea, to fentanyl too. I just lost him in 2022, sorry. But it hurts, guys. We were very close. I did everything with him. My prayers goes out to anybody who's going through this struggle within your family, whether it be family, friends, co-workers. The best thing you can do is just love them. I've already told the story of how I helped him, or I tried to help Kakalea, and I did get him out of the state of Florida into Arizona. But after 8 months, he went out and bought a bag. But okay, guys, please do share and bring awareness to this, okay? We're in spring, summer, so we don't want to have any casualties. All in Echoline Lifestyle. Thank you.